A growing practice is more valuable. A growing practice is more valuable. So it's all about growth. And many practices have accidentally reached a plateau. You know, Naren, I hear all the time in my coaching work when potential clients are talking to me, and I ask them, tell me about your practice. And they start telling me the story, and they say that, it's reached a certain point and it's kind of plateaued. And I often hear, Gary, I'm not proud about this, but my practice hasn't grown in the last 4 or 5 years. And sometimes it's acute. Sometimes it hasn't grown in the last 10 years. But there's a variety of different formulas to use when it comes to valuing a practice, but they're all based on a similar construct. And the truth is, the larger your practice is, the more valuable it is. And so growth, is one of those things. Now, I want to share something very interesting because it's something it's something I teach my clients. And some doctors naturally align to this, and others I have to be a little more persuasive. But I share with them that a cool goal regarding growth is to every year grow at double-digit percentage growth. Double-digit. So double-digit, using simple math, means at least 10%. Mm-hmm. Anything 10% or above now includes 2 digits by a percent. And Naren, very interestingly, if you grow your practice just 10% every year, and you do that for 7 years, 7 consecutive years, the practice has doubled.
Exactly. That means it's
That's
a
called
$1 million practice.
It's the rule of 72.
Yeah.
Look it up, Google it. It's a math equation. It's a rule of 72. You know it, Naren, because you live math. But if you grow 10% and you do that for 7 consecutive years. So if we started with $1 million practice and you grew 10% for 7 years, 7 years later, that practice is now a $2 million practice. And we all can, easily imagine that a $2 million practice is worth more than a $1 million practice.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, continue that, because let's say this doctor is maybe mid-career, and 7 years, he's still kind of mid-career. So he could actually do this for 14 years. Naren, what's that $1 million practice worth if it grows 10% every year for the next 14 years?
$4 million.
$4 million. That's kind of exciting, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I mean, actually, your practice has grown like exponentially, and since you owned it.
Yeah. So growth. Now, again, I'm not pretending this is easy. We don't just click our fingers and grow, but it has to start with a growth culture in the practice. And that matches my some personal values that I have. And the values we embed in our practice and we embed in our client practices, that we embrace lifelong learning. That's not an easy, that's not a difficult concept to convince dentists about when it comes to, say, clinically.
Yeah.
Because most dentists naturally have embraced lifelong learning when it comes to clinical. Because, the universe is changing. There's new materials, there's new equipment, there's new supplies, and they're constantly taking education to learn these things. And so most dentists have embraced that naturally, and they just want to be better than tomorrow than they are today. Well, they need to do that on the business side as well. And so if you're growing, it simply means that, we want to be better tomorrow than we are today. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. The full podcast episode link is in the link below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like our content.